Okay, so we're now ready for our third panel. I'm delighted to have here with us Dr. Sarah Brown and Barbara Mandel. Thank you. I will turn it over to our guests to provide a short overview of the project and some of the details about where we are right now.
Hi, my name is Dr. Sarah Brown. I'm at UCSD. And Alliance Healthcare were brave enough to fund an initiative we put in to use a new ingestible sensor that could track whether you took your medications or not. People who get tuberculosis in this community and in every community are the poorest. And it is difficult to actually get initiatives like this funded. What we did is took a brand new technology and we built a coalition between private enterprise, academia, public health, and philanthropy. And the reason for that is that if we didn't have all those stakeholders in the beginning, this thing wouldn't have much of a chance to go on beyond a demonstration project. We ran a randomized controlled clinical trial because that's what we do. I'm an associate professor of medicine, that's what we do. And we got very good results on that, looking at the current standard of care used in San Diego County and in Orange County. We are in the process of presenting this work to the national TB meetings, the UN, South Africa, and probably beyond. I'm very grateful to the Alliance Healthcare Foundation. I think that our academic environment here is superb, but we need to move out and work with our community very closely, and we got an opportunity to do this.
Thank you.
We were funded by Alliance. We were the first grantee to fund the Text for Baby program. With this money, now remember, in 2010, mobile texting and mobile apps were pretty new. And so we were trying to test a theory that utilizing mobile health would help to improve education in terms of healthcare, and also to build a strong coalition in San Diego County around perinatal care. We were able to have some extremely positive outcomes, and those outcomes continue today. And California right now has the highest number of participants in this national program, and in California, San Diego County was able to achieve the highest per capita utilization of the service. Text for Baby basically is a texting program that is very customized and designed based on the date of delivery to improve the health of women during pregnancy as well as during the first year of life for both mom and baby. Through the partnership, we learned a lot of things. We learned that continuing to feed the marketing monster was not going to create sustainability. So we started working with some of the community health centers to get them to institutionalize it, that every woman who came in for services would be automatically enrolled. It was a 15-second enrollment process. And then we started working with the Medi-Cal insurers and the health department to make sure that everybody was enrolled. And eventually what we were able to do was create real sustainability by having it institutionalized at the state level so that every person, every woman who is enrolled in Medi-Cal program is automatically enrolled in the program. And it's just integrated into all the perinatal services that women get, hopefully as early in their pregnancy as possible. After 2 years of funding, Alliance decided that they would help to move this platform stronger across the entire state. And so funded, on a national level, funded the Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies Coalition to move it forward. And it has been really increasing its usage across the country.
Thank you very much. Joe, I will ask you to kick us off.
Just a couple different takes on what you've heard. Dr. Brown described what really looks an awful lot like a classic academic randomized clinical trial that the NIH or PCORI might fund. But the link was that it was moving a technology that was still a little bit ready maybe for what we would call phase 4 type testing, and then integrating it into our health system. Working with the county, working with Orange County to take the technology, demonstrate that it works as a technology, but also demonstrate that it works in the context of a healthcare system. A technology, sociology, personal, governmental interface. My advice would be if you're going to use technology, think about the implementation of that technology and the barriers. Text for a Baby really demonstrates that. The real work of that has been getting people to utilize it. It's not just the technology itself. Again, my advice is think about what your innovation is and think about the aspects that are going to be really necessary to make it work. Both of these are moving along very nicely now. We're very proud of them, but it's been a process going through technology and how it interfaces with reality, if you will.
Thanks. Don?
I think what appealed to both of these projects was the opportunity that they represented in massive scale. Both projects had the opportunity to work in San Diego and then be taken nationally and then potentially internationally. If you think about it, in the case of the TB, in my mind, it had a triple win factor. It addressed a public health issue. That was the health element. San Diego's the wireless capital of the world in companies. There's 600 companies. It was using a wireless technology. And the best case, it was getting people to eat silicon chips. So, I mean, what better combination could you have for San Diego and as a driver, having it as a key health driver? And in the meantime, the first drug has now been FDA approved to go forward with this technology. That just happened in the last few months. So we've actually been part of the proof of concept going forward and using and applying this technology. But I think the interesting opportunity here is both of these, from day one, had the potential for driving scale well outside of San Diego.
Thank you. Kilu?
I've been with the program-related investment committee for a couple of years, so I had heard, of course, of both of these programs. For the last 18 years, I have been funding innovation, both as an equity investor to start with and then a lender to venture-backed life science and medical technology companies that are both private or publicly traded, so it's funding innovation. What I just realized right now is that the technology that you used, we actually backed at our company, so I wasn't involved in making the decision here. But not only that, I was at a conference last week in Las Vegas where a pharmaceutical company that got the approval with the private enterprise that developed the technology was talking about how difficult it was, how innovative it was, how many problems they had across agencies in the world, sort of changing the thinking. And as I was listening to Dr. Brown's talk here, I was thinking, you are such brave souls for taking it on and succeeding in a way that you have, as well as the foundation in its support of this, because it cannot be any easier on deployment for the wireless monitoring of health with a new technology across agencies and systems and counties and whatever levels this must have gone to. And on the text for babies, again, coming from the background of always asking, can this become scalable? Can this become sustainable? If we give the max amount of money, then what happens? Keeping it growing and scaling and sustaining. And now it seems like, we all text each other, but doing it early, staying with it and changing and growing your model as you then mature it is really admirable.
One of the things I want to point out to the audience is actually Text for Babies was in our very first round of innovation funding, and they're about 8 years old. Just some stats for folks to think about here, and they are actually the largest model for health information, mobile health information in the country. They have 85 health plans, 20 health systems. Voxiva, which was the technology partner that you all partnered with, Champions for Health, which used to be the San Diego County Medical Society Foundation, merged with Sense Health, and now are WellPass. And so Text for Babies now lives as part of a key component of the commercial entity. So this is actually, at this point, it has achieved probably well beyond our dreams. Any parting comments from our panelists?
Thank you so much for your early support.
Well, actually, you guys did the work of forging the partnership. Your organization, coupled with Voxiva, really started that, and you came to us with a good partnership. But with that, I am going to say thank you to our panelists.